Okie dokie. Good morning, good evening, wherever you might be watching from. Second last day of the challenge. How crazy is that? 5 weeks have gone past. How have you done? Are you, let me just move this. Have you been going through the routine? Have you been doing it? Here we go. Again, time constraints today. I don't know what's going on there. So I'm going to get straight into it. Finishes tomorrow. Crazy. 5 weeks. How have you been going? How are your charts? Been ticking boxes? I bet you have. I had a student this morning who has been going through the challenge, dedicated to the cause, but she's also making a lot of changes to her playing. Harmonic slurs are advanced, and people might look at this and go, it's only a G or it's only a middle C. Miss the point completely. It's the process behind it. Anyone who's been playing for a few months can tighten up, choke, push, and get the notes to come out. But that sets a precedent for the rest of you playing life. And you got to recognise it. What's the first thing we do? Open up. There's your instrument. If you're not understanding that, go back and start at week 1 and do your Largo status. This is part of your instrument, and all we're doing is energizing air in a pipe, whether it's an oboe or a saxophone or a trumpet. I haven't got time to go into all the details. This is all explained in absolute detail in weeks 1, 2, and 3, definitely in the WinWorks course. Today I'm just going to come along very quickly when you're on a day where you haven't got much time to practice, but you want to make some progress. We just do it. So I do have to do my long tone, because I swore at the start that I would do it every day. Feels great after literally just running in here, picking up trumpet. You can tell it's all scratchy. We're pulling the air right back. I'm not concerned about sound quality. Sound quality will come. We're working on breath control, and the expansion that I can feel after doing the 5 weeks is awesome. The fact that even then was a dodgy breath and halfway through was feeling a bit rough, still getting over the minute mark quite easily is an improvement. So how am I going to do it today? You can just change every single day. I might start at 176 today. I'm just going to see what happens. So that's feeling awful. So we'll go on to the next one, 184. Quick check-in. We're not going to tick boxes every single time we attempt something. It's just a matter of coming and playing. Just doing it based on the pure process. Don't forget the balloon. Air in the lungs. We're not squeezing that balloon until we're running out of air. And of course, at this speed, air is not the issue. Duration isn't the issue. It's maintaining that tempo for a long period of time. In the groove there for a while, and it only takes one note to not speak, and it throws it out of phase and it stops. So if I was sitting down here for a big practice routine, I'd probably do a little bit more and try harder to tick a box, but sometimes we don't have time. I've got things to do. So as long as we come back in when we're busy and have a look at it. 168. So because it was a bit loud, I was actually having some of that, what did I call it, subconscious muscle twitch. It was just locked into place. 1, 2, 4, 8, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I actually got to tick a box. That was cool. 192 I'm going to try again. Or maybe I haven't tried it yet. I don't know about you, but I lose track of which ones I've done. Isn't it funny? It's get to 1, 2, 4, 8, 5, and 10. And again, it's just that one click. Soon as it falls off, it's gone. But it was in control for 10 seconds. So if I can get 15. So it just falls off the clock. And let's go back. Interesting, you can do 5 and you could do 10. Logic says you can do 15. What happens? 160. So there's just no way I'm going to get near the minute on those. 200. Flying through today. Wah wah wah. Wah 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 wah. Wah 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 wah. So that's all it is, just a couple of times, just checking in. Can you find something lock? So I'm stuck there on the 8 beats. 152. All right, I'm really going to empty the lungs out here and try and get a great breath on and go for the whole minute. Not quite there. And 208. Wah wah wah. Wah 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 wah. Independent movement of the face without engagement of the body. Air in, don't forget. soon as the tongue drops down, it's just a tiny tweak of the chops. And again, we're just reminding ourselves the fact that we do not engage the body to play higher notes. I haven't raved about it for the last couple of weeks. The first 3 weeks I was going nuts on it. But, Erin, I wasn't blowing the horn at all. Just air in the mouth. Pick up lead horn. Let's go. It's got nothing to do with the body. You can tell when I start talking. We've got to find that. And this awareness of aperture corners, taking the pinch out of the middle of the lips, pulling back on the airflow, working on breath control, working on the control of the aperture corners, is how we develop it. I've got to do the Carnival of Venice thing. Let's see what happens. So again, what am I doing here? It's just finding a passage that's tricky in context with the surrounding music that you're playing. You might have something that's a tricky little line. I can play that okay. I could sit here all day and do that. But when I put it with the previous 8 bars, there's some pre-wiring playing the whole piece that makes my tongue do something stupid. On that, even that sort of harmonic slur, there's the slur there. There's no kick, it's all passive. And it did that. It's been happening more and more. I got it a couple of times yesterday, and I've got to explain that I'm completely no conscious control over this. It's all driven from back here. I'm not trying to do anything. It's just sitting back and watching what's going on, letting the fingers do their thing. And if you remember from week 1, I couldn't get my fingers working very quick because I hadn't been doing it. But it's just a fascinating thing when you have something that's wide and it becomes the predominant pathway when I'm playing the whole section, yet when you break it down on its own, same thing. Anyway, 208. Wah wah wah, wah wah wah, wah wah wah. The interesting thing there is just recognizing that it can slot for a couple of beats, but then it pulls away. Slots for a couple of beats, pulls away. That doesn't matter. Pushing your boundary every day allows you to refine the process. Eventually, if I keep going, what's the limit? I mean, is it possible to do 208 for a whole minute in one breath? I don't know. Doesn't matter what the limit is. It's searching, finding our limits based on pure process. And I alluded to this earlier at the start of this stream today, that a student, she'd kind of forgotten about the ah-ooh and the visualizer and the tissue, and all of a sudden getting obsessed with the harmonic slurs. And of course, what happens if you start and pinch down and everything goes? That's not the point. All you're doing is practicing inefficient techniques. It must be. Ah, wah, 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 wah. It's all explained at the course. If you haven't done your Largo status, You've got to do it. I don't make that buzz happen. You notice the first time it didn't happen. Something's not in alignment, but the process was pure. Then when we're playing, remember, I want the lips to interact with the air as if they're the vocal cords. And if you are here, you will not feel an engagement because there doesn't need to be. Air into the lungs, body wants to be here. When we breathe, we stretch. It expands. When we relax, it comes back to here. Yes, of course, when we're running out of air, we need to use the abdominal muscles to push the diaphragm up to empty the lungs. Of course, when we're playing long notes and loud notes, you have to engage the body. But we work on refining our fundamental techniques with absolute optimum minimal amount of work. What do we need to play a low C? Here's a ringing low C. There's no more to it than that. Here we go. There is no blow. I'm just going to keep saying it and saying it and saying it and saying it. There's air in the pipe. The reflection of the sound wave sets the lip into oscillation. The air in the body's concert hall oscillates. Most of the energy is lost to the friction in the pipe. 5% thereabouts, based on the science that I've read, is emitted in sound, and the rest of the energy is keeping the sound wave alive. While we're in the psychology of blow, exert, push, tight, you're going to be an inefficient player. Flexibility is going to be an issue. Tone could be affected, and endurance and range, all of these things. And when you actually get the fact that we energize the air and let it live in the body, let the sound back in, add instrument to body, don't blow through instrument, energize the air and get the air to oscillate. I know it's a different psychology, but there is fact to it, and it's going to, what are the two biggest problems? Pinching the lips and forcing the air. So if we pull the blow back and recognize, soon as I've taken a breath here, soon as I open the lips, the air wants to come out. I don't have to force it to come out. Soon as the lips open, the air moves. It has to, because the body wants to get back to here. Once you start and experience this, even if it's on one note, that's where you build your fundamental technique on top of that. Not sound good at all cost, no matter what the body's doing, because it's ultimately going to be futile. Just ask the bloomin'... I got a video from a guy this morning who a lot of you would know. And he's going, Greg, I'm playing with more freedom than ever. Please don't show this video, which I understand, and I will never show the video. But if you knew what they were going through and who it was, and then seeing this, I'm laughing because it's awesome to see someone who's made an awesome career doing this all of a sudden go, ah, and say, thank you, Greg, I'm playing with more freedom than I've ever played with before. That's what this is all about. So if you embrace it, understand it, and put it into... I don't care if you're doing quarter notes at 60 on the harmonic slur, as long as the process is right. And you won't know if the process is right until you develop a point of difference, which is eyes closed. What does the voice do? How does the body work? How do we get resonance out of the body? That's all of that. It's all explained in the Largo status. Go through and do it. And then you will be able to easily ascertain when it turns into, I'm starting to push and tighten a little bit. And people live with the belief it's hard work to play brass instruments, so it's okay to have that sensation of push and tight. It's okay. Yep. And a lot of people make it work, and a lot of people are frustrated. So just take it on board and try it. I need to go. Thought for the day, even when it's frantic, there's lots to do. Find time to pick up your horn and do something. Because I know even from what I've done today, I ticked one box on on a duration level, but just coming back and doing it daily, is where you'll get your results from. Not forcing, not trying to, consciously trying to tick a box. No, be aware of what the body's capable of doing on any particular day. There'll be days where you tick heaps of boxes and days where you don't tick many boxes. That's what we're looking for. Tomorrow is the final day of the 5 weeks. How cool is that and how fast has it gone? It's amazing. I can't remember it all. But I'm going to have my progress chart. I'm going to fill it out, and then we're going to go back to week 1 and have a look at it and compare week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, and go, wow, if you practice regularly with good process, you improve. Amazing. And there are a lot of flow-on benefits from this approach to practicing, and it's a smart way to practice. I've given it the name, the Windworks Harmonic Slur Challenge. Just you've got to give it a name, but it's a way of practicing, writing down, so you're not wasting practice time. Where am I up to? Where was I up to yesterday? So you're not practicing stuff all the time that you can already do. You're always pushing your boundaries. I don't have more time to rant and rave. So unless there's any questions there, which there doesn't seem to be, if you happen to be watching this on YouTube and you've seen none of the other videos, there's a link below. Just click it, register, it's free. Go through, work through the challenge, work through the Largo status, and you will change your playing. You'll think about it differently. And at the end of the day, if you want to make a difference to your playing, you've got to make a difference to the way you think about it. That probably should be my mantra for the whole course. If you want to make a difference to your playing, you've got to think about it differently. And people are terrified at thinking about it differently because it's not what they've heard before, and they'll shy away from it. That's okay. Eventually, you'll make a difference. Happy weekend, and see you later.